to the Myself Show. Welcome everybody to the Myself Show. My name is John Yellick and I am here on the Myself Show to talk about myself. Not really. Mostly it's a variety show, you know? If you've been watching this since, the 4th episode, this is already the 4th episode. We've already gotten 3 episodes in and now we're on our 4th. So, next week, I'm planning for it to be the series finale, and that's going to be interesting because I have made all this content, and sometimes just gotten it from other people, but to promote their channel. But this is just a thing I really love to do. Make videos, make this, and yeah, I really like to. As you've seen, I've done the Frisbee tutorial videos. I also really like to play Frisbee, and I'm going to get a lot of questions about Frisbee later on. And those are just things I really like to do, but I also like to experiment with, audio. I've made songs before. I've made this before where I actually, voice over with this. So I've done that, and I've gotten actually better results on my audio. But I've also done a podcast, and I've done, how many episodes? 6 episodes on my podcast. But yeah, it's been very interesting. So now I'm just going to introduce an old video, and by old video, here's the criteria for an old video. It has to be, really old. It has to be at least 1.5 years old, and so it can't be something where I've it's got to be something that I've probably filmed with this camera or my iPod, and it's got to be one of my videos, obviously. But anyway, the old video that I'm going to show you guys was published around the time when people thought it was going to be the end of the world. And people were all freaking out about it's going to be the end of the world, 2012. But right now it's 2015. Of course, it's not going to be the end of the world in 2012 because it's already 3 years past us. But anyway, I was just making a statement about the end of the world's not coming. So I made this video called "End of the World," and this is using an app that has special effects called Action Movie FX, and so please enjoy End of the World.
It's happening, everybody.
And what is
End of the world. Disasters have been happening outside, inside hotels, in airports, and even in people's houses. No, this isn't a house. This is the very last news report, and you are our very last news listener. What? Please do something if you can. Be careful. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine, even though this was in my own house. It's the end of the world. Sorry.
That was a very interesting video, End of the World, and yes, so right now I'm going to proceed to do a challenge. This challenge is tell a revolutionary way to use a pencil, a way that no one has used it before. You could take pencils, not a pencil, but you could take pencils, and you could stack them up, like sharp pencils, and then you could stack them up on top of each other, and then they can make it an Olympic sport. Or what they could do is they could sharpen both sides and then have you try to balance. It's got to be a straight, it's got to be a flat lead, but you have it, stack it and see how many they can stack up as either an Olympic sport or a Guinness World Record or something. So there's a revolutionary way to use a pencil. And yeah, this is probably going to be the shortest episode ever. But anyway, now I'm going to proceed to tell you about 15 seconds of YouTube genius. And this one is called You Shouldn't Have. It is a video by Julian Smith that he did with King Bach and another guy. I forgot. It says at the end of the video who he is. But anyway, it's just a typical Julian Smith video, and it's just hilarious. So please enjoy You Shouldn't Have.
Merry Christmas, Patch.
A present for me? Oh, man, I wonder what it could be, man.
Open it.
A teddy bear? I shouldn't have.
Excuse me?
You really shouldn't have.
Then maybe I'll take it back.
Very interesting video, because there are two different ways to say you shouldn't have. There's the, like, you shouldn't have done this, or, you know, you shouldn't have, man. So, yeah, be careful what you say before you say it, because it might end up wrong. Okay, anyway, I'm going to answer some questions. Here's the first one. Whenever I throw a hammer throw with a frisbee, it never curves. Why might this be? This is a very common mistake, and it's not really a mistake. I mean, it's just really by the way you're throwing it. Some people, I used to throw a hammer like this, just on instinct. I would throw a hammer like this, like super straight, and sometimes a little bit like that, and then it would curve so that it's just flat and just lands on the ground flat, and that's not very good for my frisbees. So my advice is when you're throwing a hammer, you should throw it at an angle, and so that's why it curves really, because people are doing most of the curving when they throw the hammer. So just do it at an angle, and it should curve. If that makes sense, you know, just throw it like this at an angle facing the sky, where the outside part of the frisbee is facing the sky. So, who have you collaborated with in the past? I collaborated on 2 occasions with Mr. Kips in Minecraft for Geeks, and Mr. Kips is a YouTube channel that focuses on Minecraft, but I just did a little series, and in 2 episodes I collaborated with him, but I also collaborated with Minecrafters Ketchup Bottle 9 and Manster089, and that was really fun. And I've also collaborated with Brandon Hickson from the band Racing Gravity, and also the band before that, God Fueled. And he was really interesting to work with, because we actually made a video called The Baseball Turtles, and this is what we did. We just said, hey, we should make a video. And so you know, I came up to his office, and he just, you know, he went to the little filming room, put me against a black backdrop, and said, okay, tell me a story. Just improvise. And I'm like, okay. You know, once upon a time, there were 2 turtles, and they both loved to play baseball. You know, and then I expanded from there, and then we ended up making a skit about it, you know, with these little stuffed animals, and it was super fun. And I hope to collaborate with a bunch of other people, but I've also collaborated with Crook to, you know, do this. First of all, we collaborated, and yeah, I've just collaborated with all the other people that I've interviewed here. What was the coolest thing that ever happened to you? I don't know. The coolest thing I ever saw, really? Lighting. The coolest thing I ever saw, really, was my arm when it was broken. Honestly. It was just really, it just looked cool. You know? It was just like, wow. It reminded me of that scene in Harry Potter. You know, when the guy gets a spell on him and has no bones in his body. Was it Harry that gets a spell on him and he loses all bones in his body? That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, cool. And then everyone told me, of course, to get down, and I was like, okay. Alright, what kind of frisbees do you typically use? Typically, I like to use Global Sports Partners frisbees, because they have a really short rim, so that's good because I have really small fingers. And you know, they are yeah, they when it gets bent, you can just kind of like work with it, and yeah. But occasionally I've had a frisbee where I've had actually 4 of those frisbees where it cracked after a long time. But they're making their frisbees stronger now, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and I've also heard a lot of good things about Discraft and how that's a really good frisbee. But I have not heard a lot of good things about Whammo, and that's Frisbee is trademarked by Whammo, so yeah, but so now we have to call them discs instead of frisbees. Hey guys, I'm John Yellick. I'm here with Yusuf from the Impossible Skate YouTube channel. And what is the Impossible Skate YouTube channel?
The Impossible Skate is a channel that's dedicated to spreading skating across the world.
Okay, anyway, some people have seen the videos, but some people haven't. So tell us, what kind of tricks do you do?
What type of videos?
What kind of tricks
Okay, so
do
tricks.
you typically do?
I don't really do air tricks. I do stuff like sliding, tech stuff, and freeriding.
What is your favorite kind of trick to do on a longboard?
My favorite kind of trick. So like a general.
Well, besides, no. If you're thinking about just sliding, what kind of slide do you like to do, or something like that? What kind of longboard trick do you do?
I like to do variations on things like flat top plants and bonuses, finger flips off of those things.
Why did you join the Impossible Skate?
Well, we started it mostly because we were kind of bored of skating groups and doing nothing but skating. So we wanted to have a way to do what we did. Others learning to skate.
Yusuf from Impossible Skate. Go check out the Impossible Skate YouTube channel. They have really cool skating videos and really cool tricks that they've done. So go check them out. They're awesome. Go watch the Trick Shot Network because they have some awesome trick shots, and they make these trick shot videos very they just try to post them out every week, and yeah, they're just super cool at their trick shots, and that's basically it. They like to do trick shots and competitions and bloopers videos, stuff like that. So go check out the Trick Shot Network. Okay, now I'm going to show you what can be in the show and tell box today. Ladies and gentlemen, what could be in the show and tell box today? Let's find out. It is my clapper board. Wait, gotta grand opening. My clapper board. And I don't actually use this very much, but it is a fully functional clapper board, and I've used it for my very first project on Magix Movie Edit Pro, which is the video editing program I use now. And that was a day in the life video, but it was really just a documentary about my life, and I was doing it for a videography class for my homeschool then. So yeah, someone gave this to me as a gift for my birthday, I think, or for Christmas, either one, where the kind of party that I get gifts at. And so yeah, and they provided me with chalk so I could actually tell which is which here, but now it's just basically decoration. So this is my first clapper board, and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the Myself Show, even though this is probably the shortest episode I've ever made. And I hope that you guys will join us next week for the series finale of the Myself Show. Until then, see you guys later. I'm being myself.